Oh, what's up, Hercules? Thank you for becoming a participant of our stream. Looks like we already got 4 people here. One second, you guys. I have to ascend into my streaming location for the day. Sorry, I was just running, but let's see what we can do here. Let's see if I can flip this camera. We're in. Sammy boy, how you doing down there? You good? All right, you watch the bottom, bud. I'll be right back. All right, this looks like a good spot. Let's see. All right. In our location. Yeah, there's been some new stuff happening, Cancy. Thank you for coming back. I guess we're still waiting for people to get here, but I'm gonna go ahead and knock out my disclaimer just in case to have our bases covered. I'm not a licensed medical professional. Nothing I say is intended as health advice. Any major changes you make to your diet or lifestyle is something you should check with a medical provider with for starting. I'm also not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is a recommendation for an investment. And I'm a law-abiding citizen. Nothing I say is an admission of guilt. Anything illegal that is mentioned was simply added for entertainment value. And that being said, welcome to my stream, everybody. Sam, come here. Leave it. You're supposed to be guarding my tree, dude. I guess that's what he was doing. He's like, hey. Yeah, I was running. I had to use the I had to take a pee before the stream, and I didn't want to be late after I already pushed it back 15 minutes. So I ran to go relieve myself, and then I ascended into this tree here. We're like up there, and Sam is down there guarding the dun dun dun. There's the beast. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. Do I enjoy climbing trees? Bring back childhood memories? Yeah, you know, I used to love climbing trees when I was a kid, and it's something that I started doing again about a year ago. And honestly, no regrets. It's been great. It's amazing. Honestly, it's kind of like almost gives me like a flow state. Like this particular tree is like pretty chill, but I like to also go and climb like more difficult ones where the branches are like long and straight without anything to hold on to, and you just gotta kind of like have your balance and walk across. So yeah, I'm into the tree climbing thing. I would like to go to a you know, more wooded location. Hello. And dude, am I on vacation? I don't take vacations. My whole life is pretty much a vacation. I don't really consider any one day better or worse than the next. Well, I mean, I guess some of them turn out better or worse, but overall, I really just every day is a anyhow, let's see. Videos got through the Fallujah. Well, I'm glad you made it, Daniel. I heard that was, I had a couple buddies that were there as well, and I know it was quite the experience. Sam, leave the other dogs alone. Sam, come here. He's gonna kick your ass. Sam, I said no. Several fires in California and LA area have been very, has been very hot. I haven't seen any of the fires. I didn't realize that there was any fires, honestly. Normally they're pretty visible if there is when they're around, so I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe there are fires. I mean, I don't know. Sam, come here. Sam. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm trying to, I mean, I'm honestly, like, I'm kind of on, like, right now, I'm on, like, a dire mission to get out of the country by the mid next month, and down into Mexico. I came across a good opportunity to gather myself there if I can make it as far as Quintana Roo. So I'm trying to make that appointment because I don't really want, I mean, it's bad enough right now, but I don't really want to be here whenever. Sam, if you don't stop that, come here. You want to go in the car? Hey, come here. Sam, sit. Stay. But yeah, if I can pull together some kind of great escape before the election, I definitely want to, because I don't know, it seems pretty, seems like the current administration is pretty much willing to destroy the world rather than lose power. So it's kind of a thing. Not that I think that the alternative is likely to go that much better, but I would at least like a question mark, not a guaranteed, descent into full-blown communism. Let's see. Oh yeah, so anyways, you guys, I have been having, it was a little bit, I haven't had anything, I guess, too insanely intense happen, but I have made some powerful discoveries. I was on the fence. I don't know if I actually am ready to pull the trigger on this. I really was hoping to have some of my male followers here for this one, because they're kind of like, I don't know how well it translates across to the female energy centers, or setup or whatever, but so I think I had mentioned previously that I had some kind of rapid, well, first I had an experience, and then I had a rapid, I don't know. I mastered it pretty quickly. Now, part of the reason is obviously because this is very similar to what I did in the adult industry for a long time. But anyways, I found that I could bring myself to a complete and total climax using meditation alone. No physical stimulation of any sort, just the mind, right? And so I dabbled around with that a few times, and I realized that I had pretty much mastered it very quickly. At that point, I was kind of thinking that I'm wasting my energy, right? Well, I also was in some way cultivating energy more than losing it. So I played around with it a little bit more, and I realized that I could do something suddenly that I was never able to do in all of my life, in work or outside of work, where I could actually, you know, go through the physical feeling of all that, but without releasing anything. You know, probably a lot of guys know what I mean by, like, if you like hit that Kegel kind of muscle or whatever, like flex really hard, that you can kind of hold it in for a minute, but it always eventually like bursts forth and breaks through, right? Well, what I discovered is that if you don't just only use that lower Kegel, but rather if you engage all three bandolocks, which I'll explain what that is for people if you don't know what bandhas are. It's a new concept for me, but it's something that I basically was able to like reverse engineer and find information about. But there's basically, if you engage all three locks, you can, or at least I can, completely stop myself from releasing anything whatsoever. Not only that, but the feeling is actually more intense. There's, you know, I've already trained myself to ignore a refraction period, but in this case, there's actually zero refraction. In fact, I would say that it kind of goes up to a new notch of physical, I don't know how to say this in a YouTube related censored way, but the physical effect is the opposite of what you would normally expect from a release when you do that. Now, if you manage to do that, if you find that you do have the capability of basically intentionally shooting a blank using this method, the third most even more awesome discovery that I found is that if you, and this is the really hard part actually, and I'm still kind of working on this, but I have had some success with it, is that if you release the bandolocks in the proper order, starting from the lowest one, I forgot the names of them, but you release the low one, feel that energy will immediately jump up into your stomach, and then if you release that stomach one after that, you can bring it up into your, you know, head and have a really, really, really intense, nice meditation. But it gets more. It's like QVC. Wait, there's more. So what I've learned even beyond that is that not only can that all lead to an amazing meditation and enable you to like raise your Kundalini energy like super fast, but the effects of that like snowball and like ramp up and more and more and more. It's like the next day even, or the days after that, you will wake up literally feeling totally energized. Now the other side of that, the only downside to this, which is if it's even a downside at all, is that it also trains your body as a man. I don't know how it works for women, but you become extremely sensitive and extremely quick to arousal, which is, if you're like me and spend a lot of time in swim shorts and things like that, it can be a little bit of a battle to keep the boy in check, I guess is the best way I could say that. But yeah, it's just an amazing discovery as far as, and I don't know if I'm terminologying all this right, because again, I'm more and then reverse engineering it and trying to find the information to verbalize it afterwards. But I do believe that what I have begun to unravel is indeed the Buddhist Tantra secrets. I'm not sure. I know they have more. They use yantras. They use all these different techniques and stuff. But at least as far as that type of Tantra, where it's sexual transmutation using the mind only, no partner, no nothing like that, but rather a relationship with a goddess in your mind, that I have discovered not only how that works, how to do it, but that there is like completely untold benefits that you just can't even You would never expect in your mind any logical, rational reason for it to work like that. But the amount of energy that it infuses into your system, if you learn to take control of that part of your body, is intense. Now, I do also suspect that this is the gateway to much higher expansion as well, because since doing this, I just feel that I have some kind of I would say I've made the parasympathetic sympathetic to some extent when it comes to the testicles and possibly even the spleen. So I don't really know exactly what I'm working with on the second part. I suspect that it's the spleen, but I have very acute feeling and control now consciously of those two centers, whatever the second center may be, which I suspect to be the spleen. And I'm looking forward to possibly getting back to Mexico and starting to do some hormone testing and stuff to see if I can take conscious control over my testosterone and raise it naturally with my mind. But now I suspect that there's probably using, while maybe there's not the actual retention whole thing as a factor with women, I do suspect that the coming to climax and engaging those bandha locks and releasing them in that same order from the bottom to the top, which is difficult, by the way. It's actually really difficult just to engage them all three at the same time. But I suspect that could work in that case as well. And I'm reading the comments slightly while I'm talking, and it sounds like somebody has had experience like that. Oh, that's a great comment. I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I would love some feedback on if this works for any of our female patrons, and also I guess if any of our male patrons happen to have some success with it, please share as well in our Telegram or anything else. Looks like I just answered your question. That was the new discovery. Let's see. Hello, everybody that's got here. Anna, Noi, Melanie, Cancy, Manifester, Frankita. But Manifester says, I discovered this about 3 years ago, was never able to repeat it since. And then continues to say, I think I can make my heart stop like that. Quite dangerous, blah, blah, blah. This is so interesting. I look forward to your discoveries. I trust you more there's on this. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's actually quite a phenomenon how this is all unrolling. And I really think about how divine it actually is. You couldn't, a human being could never plan everything out like this. You know what I'm saying? But this is how we know that there's a greater plan to it all, because first off, it's ridiculous for someone of my background to be undergoing all this kind of transformation. But it's actually interesting because so much of it has to do with sexual energy that I believe that it's actually my career and all that has a lot to do with the way that I'm able to kind of figure this stuff out, and how well I became to know my own body in order to be able to even notice what I was feeling. But what's even more awesome is that, I think that this is something the world really needs. We need our spirituality back, and religion is just, it's so, it's successful for some people. I know that some people find great power in it or whatever, but I would say for the majority, it hurts them. It hurts them more than anything else. And so it's interesting for this to happen to someone like me, who's the least likely suspect in some ways, but at the same token, you know, the people following me are, you know, from my adult points, is kind of like, I wouldn't say necessarily like the absolute best target for this type of medicine, but they would be high up there. But they actually, maybe they are the best, because I think that, you know, maybe, you know, if you liked my type of content to begin with, maybe it was, I don't know, something shining through that you were able to notice. And maybe it's just like the most receptive part of the people whom need it the most, if that makes sense. The most receptive part of the people who need it the most. Not the people who need it the most, but the most receptive part of them. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of, it's just an interesting thing how it all works out. And it's just kind of like, yeah, you know, obviously it's all whatever. We're getting the medicine to the right place. We're learning, we're expanding, we're reconnecting with our higher selves. Like, shit's doing good. I'm pretty happy about it. Back to the chat. Franquetta says, that's what I was thinking. You're well trained, knowing and reading the signals the body sends. Yes, and that's another thing I want to talk about, you guys. I have learned, like, I think it's really good to be, you know, like, you need to do some kind of sadhana every day, right? But for me personally, like, I like to ride the waves of whatever's going on in my body. That doesn't mean that I don't want to, like, you know, manipulate those waves. I want those waves to be as big as possible. I want those waves to come as often as possible. And that's what I'm, like, always geared towards doing. But overall, I find that, yeah, just there's like a certain progress that happens based upon just learning the rhythms of your body. And it's like, I'm sure maybe with women it's probably maybe even a little bit more regulated, because you have some kind of you know, you're synced up with the moon already. But I suspect that with men it's also something kind of like that. You know, I tend to kind of feel something from a full moon, strangely enough, and there's been a pretty cyclical way everything's been unfolding. Like, and in general, I would say also too, just for note, that usually right before something big happens, a bigger unfolding or development, I usually hit a low point and I start feeling really disconnected for like a day or two. But I think it's more like, it's kind of like, these are literally like waves. Like, it's like a tsunami when that happens. You know what I mean? It pulls out extra far so that it can gain momentum and come flying back in. 1 second, back to the chat. Manifest just says, yes, your journey is amazing, and it's really be done by a Scorpio and someone who has seen the very bottom of life. Yeah, you know, and continues to say I'm perfect for this. I'll take it. I'll take it. I like it, and even the bottom of life thing, I'll take that as well, because, you know, it's really hard to get perspective in this world. You know, and most people are not willing to take the dive. Not that my first dive was necessarily intentional, but my more recent dive was, and I had the courage to do that because of the unintentional one. You know, I lost my train of thought. I gotta turn on Do Not Disturb, otherwise we're gonna a bunch of times. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Where's my dog? You down there? Sub! Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. But yeah, so it's yeah, just get to, it's all about self. Are you coming to people intercepting you? But yeah, sorry, I'm off track. So I'm going back to the chat. Let's keep it going. Manifestor says, yes, your journey is amazing, and this should be done by Scorpio. And so, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me of what I was saying. But there's a quote from the Tao. You know, you guys know I love to quote the Tao. I'm gonna memorize that whole thing. The Tao is like water. It collects in the low places. I don't know if I got the whole thing right, but you know, but I got the important part, and it's dead true. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to get to the bottom of everything, and just let it all come back to you. You know, it's like everything's going to the bottom eventually. You know. Franquetta says, if and how do you think that Tantra meditation can balance the masculine and feminine, ooh, this is a great question, masculine and feminine energies, Shiva and Shakti within us? Was thinking about this quite a lot last few days. Good question. I don't know if I have the answer, but it's a good fucking question. You know, honestly, I don't know. That's a great question. I would like to know, because I'm not sure that it is balancing me personally. You know, I have felt I guess I would say trying to think, like, I don't even know, like, I'm well, instinctively I kind of want to say that it's, I think I don't know the answer to that question. I might have to meditate on that. Is that what it, I mean, I honestly don't even know what the normal goal of Tantra normally is, other than to get into like a really deep state, or to cultivate chi or energy or whatever. But you know, like for me, I would say maybe it's not been balancing, and maybe it's thrown a little bit to one side. I don't know which side. I'm tempted to say it's the masculine side, because you know, while I have felt energetically enlivened by it, I also will admit, on the downside, my ego has been like a little bit invigorated by it as well. Not to the point that it's overpowering my feminine side, but that side, that voice, whatever, it has gained a little bit of power since I've been practicing that. Whether or not that's actually related, I don't know. Could be possibly that meditation is actually helping stop that from happening, and that it would have been worse if I wasn't doing it, but I'm not really sure. But definitely I would say that yeah, I don't know, I am still fighting that demon a little bit, so I don't really know. But honestly, I don't really have any kind of education at all about Tantra. I don't know if I'm necessarily even using the term correctly. I don't actually know what the, you know, secret teachings are of the Tibetans and things. That kind of stuff is really hard to find in books and online and anything like that, because they're passed down by mouth to mouth. So I've never really had an opportunity to really learn much about that. I'm just kind of playing around with my own body, and the little bits that I have read about it resonate because, I do this through intense visualization of a relationship that I'm having with, I guess, my feminine energy. So yeah, that's the best I could do on that. It's an amazing question, but I'm just going off of feeling and stuff, and I honestly don't know. I don't know if that's something that it does, or if that's what it's meant to do, or maybe I'm doing something wrong, or I just really don't know. I'm just honestly, I'm just sharing the experience as it was, and I haven't gotten any type of major insight beyond whatever I mentioned, sadly. What's up from Alabama, Emily? Mario Nigdaru. This is my first live stream you, and I'm excited. Well, welcome, Mario. I'm excited too. I'm happy to have you. Oh, how do we bring that comment back? I think I'm okay with that one. Mom worked at a psych ward. Emily said, my mom worked at a psych ward and said people would go crazy on full moons. I believe that. I feel something for sure. Manifestor says, you're honest with yourself. There's no pretense. That is true. I try to be. If I can't be honest with myself, then you know what? I would just... Actually, I take that back. I am honest with myself, but it's one of the hardest things, actually. I would say the urge to lie to yourself is always greater than the urge to lie to anyone else. I truly believe that. Sam, come here! Franketta, thank you so much for the super thanks. It helps a lot, you guys. We're trying to escape to Mexico. If anyone wants to pitch in on that. Much love. I'm trying to be down there by the 8th of next month is my target. So, yeah, that's just a little side note, you guys. Thank you again, Franketta. Goal of Tantra is enlightenment. Well, let your feminine side talk with my masculine. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly. Yeah. Oh, didn't you celebrate your first enlightenment? Oh, that's great. That's true. I did. You guys, it's been a year now. On the 11th was my 1 year enlightenment anniversary. The next big anniversary will be our unconditional love anniversary will be on December 1st. So, yeah, we've made it a year. We didn't, our brain didn't explode, our heart didn't stop, we didn't go schizo. It's all working out, you guys. It's all working out. We have officially, I don't know, maybe it takes more than a year to be official, but I feel like I've circumnavigated the pitfalls. So thank you very much, you guys, for coming with me on this journey. It's been a hell of a year, I'll tell you that much. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming next. I'm actually really looking forward to, I guess it's my birthday in a couple months. I'll be 39, you guys. I'm really looking forward to the 4-0 because I feel literally so good physically that I can't wait to shock people with my age. I feel like 40 just sounds more shocking than 39. Just be like, whoa, you're 40 and you still act like a child. What a blessing. Maya, welcome. Long time no see. We were worried about you, I think. I was, at least. I said I think because I haven't figured out how to read everyone's minds yet, but I assume that everybody was just as worried as me. Brenda, happy Monday. I'm doing good. I'm in a tree. How much better can it get? I'm on a tree. I'm talking on Wi-Fi that's floating through space and powered by a gasoline engine. Yeah, fucking. What better? How much better could it be? Frankie says, well, everybody, let's support Bruce's journey to Mexico. Every donation helps bring more inspiring content, makes this new adventure possible. That is true, you guys. That is true. And I'll tell you what, it'll be really super interesting if we can, I feel like even though the streams are more of a controversial nature back then, I felt like the Mexico streams were good. I felt like that had me in a vibe, even back before everything happened. And yeah, I really hope to try to escape down there before these fucking idiots running my country start World War III. 39 so young. I know it's true. 40 is the new 20. It's true. Honestly, guys, I could actually get even weirder than that. Is in that I actually don't think that time is still working the same. It would be very, 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 very difficult to notice time dilation of any sort if you were inside that time zone or whatever. But it's a pretty standard science of some sort that the faster you're moving, the faster or maybe slower, the more time changes, right? And I don't personally believe that our scientists actually have the capability of measuring how fast our planet, and much less our galaxy or solar system for that matter, are moving. So if you take all those things together, you got the Earth moving, you got the solar system moving, and you got the galaxy moving. Okay, if any of those things were to change in speed, our time would also change how it moved, right? Not to mention that I think that there's like a certain effect of gravity. So if we were either drifting farther or closer to a large gravitational body of any sort, like whatever might be in the center of our solar system, then it could also cause time change. More so is that I'm almost positive that like if none of us ever had any kind of like medical intervention at all, like when we were kids, for example, with the shots and everything that they force on literally every person, I truly honestly believe that we would live at very least like hundreds of years longer than we currently do. And I'm pretty sure that we're living in a totally weird, fake, slavery situation, and that we actually have no concept of just how bad our situation is with all that. I'm pretty sure that literally like everything that happens globally, be it happening for real or maybe not even happening at all in some cases, that it's all just a big charade. It's all big plot, it's all pre-written, pre-designed, pre-whatever, and that somewhere exists power in this world that is possibly beyond challenging. But we can always hope for some kind of intervention or help from outside. I think that has a lot to do with the whole idea that we all should just really mainly focus on improving ourselves, improving our own minds, improving our own mentality, improving our own civilization, helping our other people, and pursuing our spirituality, because as much as that's also the only thing you really can do, it's also probably the thing that is most likely to earn us some type of assistance from outside our slave population. And I think that that's probably kind of where the whole turn the other cheek theory came from, because it might be possible that there really is no true ability to fight our way out of this. It's hard to say. So realistically, we might just have to, it might be like the back door to salvation is just through introspection and self-improvement. Thank you, Noi. It makes a big difference. Frankita says, heck, I never want to be 20 again. Oh yeah, fucking 20 was rough. I was in prison. and basically for doing things that are very 20-year-old things to do. So yeah, 20 is a rough age. I don't know. I feel like I didn't start getting smart until like I was in my 30s. I don't know. That could just be me. Brenda says, I'm in my 50s and enjoying every bit of... That's what I'm saying. I don't honestly think... I mean, you guys can all call me a disbeliever, and if it ever happens, you can say, see, I told you so. But I don't honestly think that I'm going to... I mean, I don't plan on aging at all, really. You know what I mean? I think that I might just be... I'm entering the final form right now. I'm probably just going to hold on to where I'm at, personally. That's just my own personal decision. You guys are welcome to get as old as you want, but... like me personally, it's done right here. I'm fucking boom, 40. I'm staying 40 for the rest of my life. Prakita says, I'm 48 and happier than I've ever been, feeling more secure in my body than in my 20s and 30s. That is beautiful. I love that. And it can only get better. 60 could be even better. You know? What if you turn around and find out 10 years from now that I was right, and just keep rolling it back, just rolling back the dice. Some people say life begins at 40. Yeah, imagine if we were living as long as the original people that are quoted in the Bible, like 400 years, 500 years, 900 years, whatever. Like 40 is like basically like you basically just barely became an adult. I think that that's also too why enlightenment happens a lot in that 30-40 range, because I actually do think that it's some type of like almost like a puberty. It's like a phase that your body goes through. It's like you're becoming your actual literal becoming of a fully developed human stage. And I just think that this is also something else. I was going to save this for the next stream, but yesterday I was detached from my phone all day, and I was shielded all day behind a bunch of like metal from any kind of wireless signals or anything. And then I went for a hike out an area that didn't really have much cell signal, and I didn't have my phone near me all day. And I'll tell you what, like I was like in the zone so much, like I felt like I was about to have like a big upgrade. I was walking meditation and all that. And I always know that I'm like getting geared up for something to happen when I'm like able to do it with eyes open and walking. But I'm honestly like, I I suspect the food supply, I suspect the water supply, but more than anything, to be honest, I really suspect the EMF. Sam, come here. Sam McKee. I really suspect the EMF is like the way that they're actually their main tool for stopping spiritual growth. I think that it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Our brain and our heart are both function on electricity, and our heart has a huge magnetic field, so it would make huge sense that they could interfere with those biofields using EMF radiation. And more so is as far as just how technology and stuff works, like it's fairly easy nowadays to get a hold of Sam, come here. GPS jammers and things like that. It's like common, some of the most advanced, not advanced, but like a big area of like military weaponry and research and stuff goes into like jamming technology to like jam other people's radars, jam other people's whatever. And this all kind of basically operates on that same concept of different frequencies and whatever. And I honestly, and even when it very first started for me, like I was getting really sick before I went to Mexico the first time. And then I went out to Mexico, and I do have some things that I suspect that were attributing to my illness, maybe unrelated. But one thing that I will say is that noticed that when I was in Tulum, the very best cell phone signal you could possibly get in Tulum at the time was 3G. There was absolutely no 4G, definitely not any 5G. And when I moved to Mexico and was basically spending most of my time there, I realized that not only was having these spiritual experiences starting. Of course, I was working with somebody that was helping that process, but I also started getting better. I started getting better, and I started waking up spiritually. And I was on 3G only, and I don't know. It just was just an observation, but at the time, I suspected that was what was making me sick. I remembered even at the time, I don't know. And part of me is like, I think that they're double tapping us. I think they can hit us. I think they're using the towers to do it, but I think that they also, it can come directly from your phone too. Like, I think that they got us literally with little dampeners in our and by the way, you guys, I'm extremely happy. I would never kill myself. I'm very content in life. So, clearly. So let me go back to the chat, because I just ranted on some weird, I went kind of down the rabbit hole there. Noia says, girls from the 70s are built differently. We know how to be true goddesses. That is, I believe that. I mean, there's definitely some, it's definitely been something lost in more recent generations. Not to say that covered. I think that it's time for us to pool that divine feminine energy and try to bring it into the younger generations as well, because it is true that younger generations have lost. They've lost that. It's very, very rare. Versus, I think it used to be. I think, as you mentioned, yeah, there was something special that's harder to find now. Hercules, welcome. Franquetta says, age is irrelevant unless you're a bottle of wine. I think it was Joan Collins who said that. I was just gonna, what was I? Oh yeah, you guys. So by the way, Hercules just reminded me. Thank you, by the way, for becoming a member. You guys, I made the memberships the absolute lowest as possible, 99 cents. And the reason why I did that is because as this grows, I think you guys all know that, you know, I think because of the description of this specific stream, that we are not hitting the live feed and that we're not hitting the shorts feed right now. So we're not getting like a lot of trolls. But as you guys know, in the cases when YouTube does start pushing us out to those feeds, we do get a lot of trolls. Okay, also too, like I advertised on Twitter today and it's been going pretty good so far, but I do feel like more trolls tend to come from when I also advertise on Twitter. Grudges. And yeah, that being said, eventually, not now, but at some point in the future as this grows, as a way to combat the trolls, I will eventually turn on members only chat, and that's why I made it the lowest possible, just because it's really more about going through the trouble of signing up as a member, whatever it is, a couple clicks or whatever, but it's just enough that the trolls probably won't do it. And if they do, I want them to pay 99 cents. 20 in record of health, Anna. When you're flexible, try Kama Sutra poses. I'm all for Kama Sutra poses. Oh, I have an amazing copy of the Kama Sutra. I haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm really super interested in that. And I'm not really sure, but I suspect, I'm sure one of you can answer this for me. Is the Kama Sutra just specifically just about sex? Or are these different positions like made specifically to do something like with energy manipulation? I suspect it is, but if it's not, it should be, and I'm going to make a whole new Kama Sutra that teaches how to do that. But I think it's cool if it is, and if it's already, if the research has already been done for thousands of years on how to create a energetic circuit between two people, or how to open certain areas with certain positions. And it's almost kind of like, I mean, I always thought that it was kind of like yoga, but with a partner, but with penetration. But oh, it's back on. We're good. I thought that my generator died, but I don't know. For some reason, the Wi-Fi just cut out for a second. I'm not really sure. Who just became a member? Somebody did. It's Brenda. Thank you. Kama Sutra poses, needs a massage afterwards. Yeah, the massage should be like a warm-up. Get it going. Just need a oh yeah, there it is. Franquetta read me. she beat me to it. Kenzie says, I'm 40 and people get shocked when I tell my age. They say I don't look 40. Yeah, see, I'm looking forward to that too. Or I mean, I don't know. Maybe I look 40. I don't know. I feel like I look like it's just the same, but very hairy. That could just be because I see myself every day, so maybe I don't notice the change so much. Wigs, welcome. Yes, I'm alive. I know. I was taking a little time. You guys, honestly, let me tell you something else. This is another important thing to note and think about with the whole spiritual journey. Okay, and I'm going to contradict something I said in the past. Because I said, you know, that enlightenment is just the torch that allows you to see your way into the abyss a few steps, so that you can walk your path, you know. But and I also mentioned that, you know, thinking, you know, some point I did say something about being able to turn back. And let me tell you something, there's no turning back. I was wrong about that. Okay, one thing that I have noticed in myself is, like, I don't know, maybe I just went too far with it, but I can't fucking turn back. There's no way. It's impossible now. Because if that, you know, luckily I'm noticing a pattern now that the of the way that it recedes and comes back in and stuff like that. But literally, the second that that connection dwindles at all, it's like, I don't know. It's almost like I can't even describe the emptiness, you know. Like, I had one really, really, really bad day before having a good day. And it was like, for that one day, I was my old self. The same person that I was for 30 fucking 7 years. And being that person for one day of being who I was for 37 years, of being alone with that fucking voice in my head, it was fucking awful. It was absolutely fucking terrible. And I was a mess over it, you know. And I'm happy it happened. You know, I'm happy I got to experience that and that it came back, so that if it ever happened again, that I know that I just got to, like, adjust and dial in my situation a little bit to rebound. But yeah, it was just such a hopeless feeling. You know, I got a lot of, you know, financial issues right now and things like that. None of them bothers me. You know, I'm in the last Europe. I want to go to Asia. I want to visit India. I want to be anywhere else except for here. But it doesn't bother me that much. I'm okay with it. I'm here. It's whatever. Making the best of it. For that one day that I felt like the same person that I was for 37 other years of my life, was the literally most horrible day in memory. I can't remember having a worse day, like, in my free life, you know. It was just fucking awful. You know, I've been through breakups. I've been through all kinds of different things that were emotional issues. Sam! Aki! All kinds of emotional things. Oh, wow. This dog just wiped out. Sam, leave it! And no breakup, no nothing. Compared to that, it was just so bad. And to think that I was perfectly happy like that, and I just sip, and you know, for 37 years, I thought it was perfectly fine and normal. That's how much better it is. That's how much better it is that just to be the same normal person that I was for 37 years was one of the worst experiences of my life. Just to be that person for one day. That's how much I've changed mentally inside. So, I don't know what value that information has to anybody, but, and it definitely doesn't mean that I'm telling anyone that they shouldn't pursue their spirituality. I'm just saying is that dedicate on day one. Like, day one, before anything happens, before you see a light, before you feel love, before fucking sun bursts out of your chest, you know, before you fucking merge into the earth and become the trees and the plants and the fucking air, the ocean. before the fucking dolphins come to salute, before you fucking step in dog shit that magically appeared on the ground under your foot from nothing. Before any of that happens, dedicate 100%. Say, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fucking go the whole way. Nothing's getting in my way. No job, no family, no boyfriend, no girlfriend. Nothing. Nothing's getting in the way. Like, it's you and your higher self till the end from day one. You and all the gods and all the angels and all of everybody that's ever ascended in the history of man. Just you and them till the end. And that's the thing that's the commitment that you should make before going even one step down that path. Because let me tell you that the moment that you change, I mean, for some of you, you already have, and you know what I'm talking about. But if it hasn't happened for you yet, just realize that no matter how great of a person that you are, it's just not going to be something that you want to return to once you wake up, you know? Anyways, let me see, back to the chat. Rakita says, what is your view on introducing children to meditation? Do you think it's beneficial for the little ones? Ooh, I don't know. I wonder if they can do it. I think so. I mean, I would like to teach my nephews meditation. You know, I think it's good, honestly. I mean, I'm okay with it, honestly. I think that maybe it's the perfect time to teach them meditation. I think we should all be learning it as children, but it should be like a really serious thing. You know, like maybe even like almost kind of like in place of school or something, like they should just be meditating all day. Because I've learned, this is 100%, and people will be angry at me for saying this, but first off, like, any type of schooling is fucking worse for your kids than no schooling. If they can learn to read and write and add and subtract, like, that's enough. Everything else in school is indoctrination and politically motivated, and there's nothing really good there, you know? I mean, like, if you're in the States, for example, like, it's also dangerous, violent, you know, there's so many pitfalls. And honestly, I think that the worst thing you could possibly ever do for your child is to allow them to go to public school. And I would suspect that most private schools are not much better. That being said, I think if a child spent 6 hours or something with their eyes closed every day, that in one single day, I don't know which day, maybe they need to do it for a year, maybe 2 years, whatever, but on that one day,